This morning I'm thinking about Monday morning laundry. So growing up in Johnstown, I'm number 8 in a family of 9, and my mom, every Monday morning, it seemed like it had to have been the middle of the night when my mom got up. I'm not really sure what time it was, but it was still dark. And Mom would start the laundry. And we would always wake up, if we weren't early enough getting going, my mom would wake us up with a broom handle on the basement rafters, banging the floors of our bedrooms so that we could get our beds stripped and get all of our sheets down. But that's its own little craziness. But there was this great smell in the house on Monday. My mom used so much bleach in her whites that the whole house smelled of Clorox. But she had, I don't even know how many loads of laundry. I do about 7 to 8 loads of laundry on Monday. We have about 5-6 people in the house here. And there were a lot more in mine growing up. But Mom would take the laundry out. It would be out on the line. Our neighbor, Mr. Chicola, he would always say that the weather report on Monday depended on if Mom was going to be hanging the clothes out on the line, because God had a way of listening to Nellie. But the clothes would be out. There'd be so many clotheslines. It was just the whole backyard was clothes and sheets. And my mom had, of course, my brother's jeans, all my dad's shirts and the handkerchiefs. But we all had a job in helping Mom. But she really did most of the work. But there was just an order and a loveliness to how the colors were all kind of grouped together in the different loads on the line. And then the sound, the props would be up, and the sound of the wind taking the clothes. And then, of course, it's just nothing like the smell of clothes that have been dried in the sunshine. But my favorite part of Monday morning laundry were the clothes that didn't go on the clothesline. They were the clothes that went through the dryer. And I loved when my mom would take those clothes out of the dryer. And I must have been a pretty small person, because I was small enough at that time, young enough to climb into the laundry basket. And I remember just burying my face in those clean, warm clothes. And there was a smell and just a presence of that warmth that still to this day, I'm much older now. But on Monday when I'm doing laundry, I'll take the load of towels out, and they'll be warm, and I'll just bury my face in them. And I'll smell it, and I'll remember my mom and all the goodness that she's brought me in my life. That sense of safety and security, her wisdom. My mom wasn't a real huggy, well, she's more huggy now, but when I was growing up, I think just because she was probably so blasted busy, that I don't recall a lot of hugs that way, but I remember that warmth and that presence of that laundry basket, and that just being the love of Mom. And so I'm thinking, as we translate that into our grown-up life and into the busyness and into sometimes the recklessness of the way that we live, just going so fast, so fast, so fast from one thing to another, all the responsibilities, all of the showing up, all of the being the person that we're expected to be, and the doing and doing and doing, that we forget how to be in that place that is safe and secure and sheltered and warm, and it smells great. And last year, I was walking on the North Shore of Pittsburgh, and I love to walk there. It's by far my favorite place to take a long, long walk. And you could see all the boats that people bring in, and the beautiful city. And but there are these little creatures that live on the North Shore, and we've got broods of geese and ducks, and in the spring it's just awesome to walk down there and to see them taking their little ones for a stroll. And there was one evening, and Greg and I were walking with Milo, our grandson, and we were walking. They were kind of like the junior goslings, and they're crossing the walkway, and they're like the teenage ones, where they've got their wings are just tiny little nubs, and their hair still looks like they just came out of the shower, and but they're getting pretty capable with like jumping down into the river, and but the mom and dad are still keeping a close eye on them. But then there was one mama that I remember her having like about 5 or 6 little geese. And her little family came later than the teenage family, and so they were much younger. But I only saw one, and it was just like kind of peeping around her, and I was worried. I thought, because we have other animals, people walk their dogs, and I'm sure there are other animals down by the river that will get those little chickies. And so just as I was kind of watching her and just thinking, wondering what happened, I noticed, and the one little one that was peeping around came real close to her, and she lifted up her wing. And as she lifted up her wing, it hid underneath her wing, but then it revealed 3 other little goslings that were underneath her wing. And I didn't even see them because she was just laying down, just kind of flat, kind of spread out a little bit, getting comfy. And as she settled in, she lifted up her other one and kind of pecked underneath her wing, and there were the rest of them. So she had all of those tiny little baby geese underneath her wings. Of course, it reminded me of the scriptures that talk about us being held in the shelter of his wing. There's a warmth, and there's a safety, and there's a security, and it even smells just fine. Being close, being held under his wing, and where that wing will shelter us and shield us from the rain and the cold, and the elements that we do have to suffer in this life that we live. So I wonder, where is that safe place? There was a song my dad used to sing every Sunday when we would be out. My dad preached a lot, and he would take all of us kids. My mom made these matching dresses for the sisters, which I'm sure was hard for my oldest sister because she was 13 years older than I, and she probably got stuck in some dresses sometimes that probably weren't her favorite, just so she could match me. But my mom made jackets and blazers and suits for my brothers. It was an amazing thing. But we would do special music, and my dad would preach. And I remember there were lots of times my dad would end his sermon with this song. My brother David would play it on the piano. And it would go, just the end was, under his wing my soul shall abide, safely abide forever. Take time to figure out, where is that place for you? Does it need to be a place, like for me, in my kitchen, with my cup of tea and my books around me and the tea kettle on? It might be a place out in a field somewhere. It might be on the back porch. It might be in your car, in silence. Where is that place that you could bury your face and feel warmth and comfort, and close your eyes and know that you are in the presence of the one who holds you tenderly in his hands? Find it.